Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Handsome German, the only show on the internet. And I have just finished playing Dordogne, or Dordogne, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Dordogne. And what it is I guess the closest thing would be a point and click adventure kind of game with a lot of David Cagey interaction with the environment where you grab individual objects and pull them into the right position, and that's most of the gameplay. But without the incredible racism, sexism, and homophobia you would get from David Cage. So it's definitely a step up in that regard. In Dordogne, you play as Mimi, a around 30-year-old woman who, in the early 2000s, receives news that her grandmother had passed away. And even though she doesn't have any memories of spending time with that grandmother, she decides to go to that grandmother's house and have a look around, because apparently there is a mysterious box that she left for Mimi. And that's pretty much it in terms of grand narrative. This is a very personal story that's a lot more about the characters than about the events that unfold. And something that this game does really well is create these moments which remind Mimi of a summer that she spent there when she was a child, about 20 years before the events of Dordogne adult version. And whenever Mimi is reminded of the past, you play flashbacks where she interacts with her grandmother, where she goes exploring in the region, where she makes a new friend and collects memories in a way. These consist of sounds that she records with her little recording device, of pictures you can take, stickers you can find, and inspiration for poetry to write. And after every chapter, you kind of combine one of each of these things to create an individualized page in a diary-esque binder. And it's actually a pretty cute reason behind why it is a binder instead of a regular diary. So you have that to look forward to. It's really sweet, actually. And I think that sums up the game really well. That binder with the sweet backstory is pretty much a microcosm of what you can expect from Dordogne, where everything, in a way, has a backstory, and it's a backstory that you uncover together with Mimi, who, like I said, lost her memory of that summer that she spent with her grandmother. The art style is absolutely gorgeous, I personally think. Everything reminds me a lot of a game that is the complete opposite of Dordogne, Beautiful Joe. The backgrounds remind me a lot of Beautiful Joe. It's a combination of cardboard cutouts and oil paintings, and it works really, really well. Especially when you take photographs of the environment, which you can do at certain places. You get some stunning photographs out of it. It's some of the most impressive visuals I've ever seen in a video game. And yeah, it works really well for this particular title to have everything be so painterly and naturally beautiful. Sometimes, though, you are taken out of the experience a little bit by janky animations There's a moment in particular where you can swim in the titular Dordogne, and when you get out, your character will perform one last breaststroke while getting out of the water, while hovering slightly above it. And it's moments like this that unfortunately take you out of the experience a little bit. But that's a very minor complaint considering how good the game looks the rest of the time. Overall, I don't want to spoil too much of this experience because I do recommend it. You may have already picked it up as part of Humble Choice for this month, I believe, just like I did. And if you did, then I recommend you check it out. It's about a little over 3 hours long, which is the perfect length for a narrative experience like this. I think it's well worth your time, and there's a good reason it sits at 94% positive on Steam last time I checked, which sounds about right. It's just barely short of being an overwhelmingly positive experience, so very positive at 94 is a perfect representation of how I feel about the game as well. So all of that being said, I recommend it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because I have to tell people that, otherwise they won't. And don't forget to do something nice for yourself, a loved one, and a stranger, especially these days. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.